Now on CoastTV News.
A Rehoboth Beach meeting that could decide the fate of this dock tomorrow. And DelDOT preparing for snow by brining Delaware roads.
Super Bowl Sunday, and we'll see pleasant conditions into our Monday, but things go downhill as we go into Tuesday, tracking the threat for accumulating snow. I'll break down my latest forecast here in minutes.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson, and welcome to CoastTV News at 11. Tonight, we begin with the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles are now two-time Super Bowl champions after pure domination of the Kansas City Chiefs. Jalen Hurts was your Super Bowl MVP, and Hurts had a masterclass with 221 yards through the air and 3 total touchdowns, and so did the Eagles' defense with 6 total sacks on the night. And President Donald Trump was at the game tonight as the first active president to go to the Super Bowl. And before today's game, he met with families of the victims in the New Year's Day terror attack and members of the New Orleans Police Department and emergency personnel. Trump waved to fans and was later spotted in his suite sitting next to his daughter, Ivanka Trump. And Eagles fans might already be making the call, if they can, to get off work tomorrow, and they will have plenty of company joining them. USA Today is reporting that more than 22.5 million people across the U.S. plan to miss work tomorrow, and that's up 40% from last year. But researchers also found that only 2% said they plan to call in sick, while another 2% said they plan to just ghost their employer and just not show up. And we now take a live look into Milford, and our First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono joins us now. And be sure to scan that QR code in the bottom left of your screen for our First Alert weather app.
Well, we saw seasonable temperatures across Delmarva today, mid to upper 40s, average high 47, and we're going to see a chilly day tomorrow, but a dry one. Things, though, do change in a big way as we roll into Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to have snow that's going to be moving back into the area, and that will transition to rain Wednesday to Thursday as temperatures approach the 50-degree mark. Now, as we look ahead, tomorrow, the calm before the storm. We're going to see dry conditions, chilly, pleasant. Then the threat of accumulating snow rolls into Delmarva. It looks like Tuesday afternoon through Tuesday evening. Period of snow growing likely. Could see some mixing at the coast, and this is really a 1-2 punch because right behind it we see another storm threat. This one, though, will be primarily a rainmaker. Now, we'll talk about the latest threat coming in Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening in the form of that accumulating snow. I'll break down the latest threats as far as who across Delmarva may see the heaviest of snow come Tuesday night. Then we'll track the storm later in the week and see how we're looking for that all-important Valentine's Day by the time Friday rolls around. That is all coming up here a little bit in my full 7-day forecast when I come up a little bit later on in the newscast.
For continued coverage of this expected winter storm Tuesday night, listen to all of our radio stations, download our apps, and follow up on our live updates on our social media pages. We are your source for this winter event. And also tune into CoastLife to hear straight from our chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, about this expected storm. And DelDOT crews throughout all of Delaware are prepping for another wintry precipitation. And DelDOT urges drivers to give crews space for their and your safety as they brine roads ahead of this storm. And a powerful winter storm pummeled parts of the Midwest and Northeast this weekend, dumping several inches of snow in some areas, and more snow is in the forecast this week. Jen Sullivan has details on the winter weather that walloped several states.
Millions of people in the Northeast digging out of the snow Sunday after a powerful winter storm pummeled much of the region. Busy New York City streets blanketed in white. Parts of the city getting more than 3 inches of snow, according to the National Weather Service. Preliminary snow totals show some areas in New York and other states got more than 8 inches of snow. But parts of the Great Lakes region saw even more.
We did have one spot in upstate New York that topped out at 14 inches of snow.
And while adults spent the morning cleaning up the mess, kids were having fun playing in it. This system that dumped several inches of snow and ice across much of the East Coast first hit the Midwest Saturday. Parts of the Twin Cities seeing as much as 8 inches of snow.
The secret is to stay moving. You can't stop moving or else you get cold.
St. Paul, Minnesota had so much snow that residents were helping each other clear the sidewalks and walkways.
Some of us will probably be out shoveling 6 or 7 houses this weekend, right? Just to try to meet the need. It would be really great if we had more people volunteer.
The winter weather isn't done yet. 3 more storms are expected in the east in the upcoming week, expecting to bring more snow to some of the areas already impacted this weekend. In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The Delaware State Police arrested William Ridgway Jr. following a traffic stop last night in Dover. After being pulled over, troopers say Ridgway did not have a license. Then during a search of the car, a handgun and a backpack along with over 48 grams of marijuana was found, and he was committed to the Sussex Correctional Institution on a $21,000 secured bond. And the Cape Penelope School District is warning people of an event scam. In a Facebook post, the school district says an advertisement for a spring festival connected to the district is asking vendors to provide money for spots. The district says there's no such thing as a spring festival, and if you paid money to reserve a spot, contact police. And however, the actual event taking place is a health and fitness expo on March 7th through the 8th. And time is running out for those looking to run for the Delaware School Board. The deadline to file for the election is Friday, March 7th, and candidates must be at least 18 years old and live in the district they seek to represent and pass a background check. Seats are open in the Cape Penelope and Delmar School District, as well as the Indian River and Laurel School District and the Seaford and Woodbridge School District. And the city of Rehoboth Beach is making a change to their website. Right now, the domain of the city is rehobothbeach.com, and the city says a fresh new website starting this Wednesday can be found at rehobothbeachde.gov. And you may remember CoastTV covered the Grove Park Canal dock in late January, and that's when in city meetings, commissioners discussed the possibly removing that dock after cracks were found, and the city says this dock does not see much use. And now Rehoboth Beach is meeting tomorrow with a new presentation from Beacon Engineering, where commissioners will discuss the next steps for this dock. And yesterday, we reported a story of a crash leaving 1 man dead at this road on your screen. And Delaware State Police have identified that man as 66-year-old James Noble as the driver of the Chevrolet Silverado that hit a utility box and trees, resulting in Noble's death after being transported to a nearby hospital. And restaurants are a major part of the economy here on the coast, and for servers working in them, there are new protections from the state of Delaware to ensure that credit card processing fees do not get taken out of their tip money. I had the chance to talk with a server on the coast about this change.
Servers in Delaware will now take home every dollar they earn in tips.
I feel that the businesses should absorb the cost of the processing fees.
The Delaware Department of Labor determined that taking away credit card processing fees from servers' tips is illegal. The ruling comes after multiple complaints and an investigation that confirmed the practice violates state labor laws. Brian Elliott is a server at Geo's and says he never had to deal with the issue, as Geo's never saddled servers with those fees to begin with. But for those that have or do, he thinks the answer is simple.
You just raise your prices. I mean, raise the price on your food if you want to get an extra 3%. Raise your, and what's the big deal with raising your price 3%?
Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings said this in relation to those credit card processing fees with servers. The vast majority of servers rely on tips as their primary compensation. With the cost of living on the rise, those funds matter more than ever.
For people like Carl Dagenhart, who goes out to dinner a lot around here, he says this change is the right call.
It's a gratitude for good service, and I feel that they deserve that.
With this new ruling to protect servers here in the first state, a tip is a tip, no deductions, no exceptions. In Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Coming up on Coast TV News tomorrow evening, Milford Big Lots set to close for good, items discounted and shoppers heartbroken, and continued reaction to the Eagles' Super Bowl victory tomorrow morning.
Well, it's going to be a chilly Monday on Delmarva with a mix of sun and clouds, setting the stage for accumulating snow rolling in here Tuesday afternoon. I'll have the latest timing coming up next.
A Black History Month event, what was shared and how the history involved the first state.
For over 30 years, Chesapeake Healthcare has been more than a healthcare provider. It's been a healthcare home for thousands of Lower Shore residents. They provide comprehensive care by taking the time to know you, coordinating with your other providers, and managing your records in one place. From medical and dental to behavioral healthcare needs, they've got you covered. Need help finding the right healthcare plan? Their certified application counselors are ready to help you. Chesapeake Healthcare, your healthcare home. Learn more at chesapeakehc.org.
Hey, I'd like to tell you a secret that most roofing contractors wouldn't want you to know. Did you know that some contractors buy their credentials and pass the cost on to you? Not only that, but your prorated warranties are paid for by you, the customer, up front. At Callaway, we don't pay for our status, so you get the same quality roof at a lower price. When you need a new roof, make sure you get a quote from Callaway Corporations and see why Callaway is the easy choice. Call now for your free estimate.
Callaway Corporations, installing roofs in Delmarva for over 20 years.
A presentation sharing the history of the Tuskegee Airmen at the Milford Public Library. The event is a part of the Milford Museum's American History series. And as Coast TV News reporter Zacchaea Jennings shows us how that history ties back into Delaware.
A presentation about the Tuskegee Airmen and their contributions to America presented to a room full of people. Thomas Summers, director of the Milford Museum, shared why it was important to talk about this part of history.
We think the Tuskegee Airmen is really an important part of American history, and it's an important part of World War II.
Andre Swigert presented the slideshow to the room full of people. Swigert is the chapter secretary for the John H. Porter First State Chapter of Tuskegee Airmen. He says the Tuskegee Airmen proved points then that are still important today.
I think these guys in particular really showed that if you can do the work and demonstrate that, sooner or later you're going to break down barriers that are there. And there are still barriers today. And we need to be inspired across the board to make sure that we don't forget what these guys did.
President of the John H. Porter First State Chapter of Tuskegee Airmen, Fred Armstrong, was personally touched by the Tuskegee Airmen because he had the privilege of meeting them, including John H. Porter, who was one of the airmen who ended up being stationed at Dover Air Force Base. He was also Armstrong's neighbor. Armstrong encourages people to learn more about their history.
Whether you're a child or an older adult, you'll find out about history and how it was made from Delaware, the first state.
The presentation ended with a slideshow of the heroes that served that are from the first state. Many of those who served had ties to Georgetown, Milford, Harbison, Bridgeville, and Dover. In Milford, I'm Zacchaea Jennings, Coast TV News.
Now, staying and celebrating Black History Month on the coast, the Rehoboth Beach Black American Film Festival is back for its 5th year, running February 21st through the 23rd at the Cinema Art Theater in Lewis. The festival will showcase award-winning films, and receptions are set to start at 6 p.m.
Cambridge Crisfield looking like a pretty nice start to the week, but things do go downhill in a big way as we roll into Tuesday. An active week ahead on the Delmarva Peninsula, anywhere from snow to rain. I'll break it all down coming up on my full 7-day forecast.
Are you suffering from hair loss? Maybe you need to cut a few pounds. Ready to start dating again? Well, here at East Coast Plumbing, Heating and Air, we can help you with none of that.
But what we can help you with is plumbing repairs, drain cleaning, tub and showers, water heaters, air conditioning, heat pumps, gas furnaces, and sewer and water main replacements. Stop dealing with chamois that don't work and call Delmarva's top service provider.
East Coast Plumbing, Heating and Air.
or find us online at eastcoastplumbing247.com. Forget about it.
The doctors of Delmarva Chiropractic take great pride in offering the finest, most individualized care to their patients and stay on the cutting edge of healthcare and clinical interventions. As winners of Coastal Style and Metropolitan Magazine's Best Chiropractors for 7 years in a row, Doctors Lane, Brown, and Taylor help with conditions such as back pain, sciatica, headaches, concussions, dizziness, and much more. The clinic also offers laser therapy, decompression, acupuncture, and custom orthotics. Call Delmarva Chiropractic today and take the first step toward achieving your maximum potential.
Imagine an evening of sophistication where ambiance feels like a dream. Welcome to Benvenuto's Fine Dining in the city of Livorno, where elegance meets culinary excellence. Every detail is designed to elevate your night, perfect for intimate dining or a special event, piano music, and a stunning Tuscan atmosphere. Enjoy international cuisine crafted with fresh, local ingredients, offering a symphony of flavors, each course as unique as the next. Call ahead and create your own unforgettable multi-course dining experience. Benvenuto Restaurant in Milford.
As a fellow veteran and family-owned business, Morse Roofing and Siding loves to give back to those that have served for the freedoms of this country.
Dear Lieutenant Colonel Richard Marks, thank you for your service. In honor of your 20-plus years in the U.S. Air Force, we would like to give you, as our gift, this new Certainteed roofing system at no cost to you.
And right now, we would like to give a free Certainteed upgrade to any military veteran between now and December the 31st.
There's good.
There's better.
And then there's more.
Well, it was a pleasant and breezy Super Bowl Sunday, but that's going to change, though, as we roll into the week here. We're going to see things really begin to turn active after tomorrow. We're going to see some cool conditions, calm before the storm, and then as we roll into Tuesday, we're going to be dealing with accumulating snow for a good bit of the Delmarva Peninsula. We could be dealing with some mixing, and then eventually we will see some rain as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. For tonight, a cold night, pleasant, partly cloudy skies. We'll see temperatures right around 28. As we roll into our Monday, a mix of sun and clouds, high of 41. Lowest, we'll see 43 in Millsboro and Georgetown, 43 Seaford, 41 in Cambridge and Easton. As we make our way to the south, we'll see 41 in Salisbury, 43 Snow Hill, and 41 in Ocean City. So increasing clouds through, say, Monday night into early Tuesday morning. So we wake up Tuesday morning, we're dry, no issues to contend with. But that's going to change, though, as we go into Tuesday afternoon, into Tuesday night. Snow is going to be moving back into the picture. And then we'll see those precipitation chances really be high from Wednesday into Thursday. Now, we do have a red alert in effect for Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday morning. That is for accumulating snow for a good bit of the Delmarva Peninsula. Again, could see some mixing at the coast. We're still trying to fine-tune the storm track. Yellow alert in play for Wednesday into Thursday. So there's the snow, widespread snow, pretty much snowing everywhere by Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Now, as we put it into motion here, we're getting to 9 o'clock. You see that warm air trying to sneak in across portions of, say, Ocean City down to Chicotee, still snowing from Salisbury through much of Delaware up through Philadelphia. And then as we go into Wednesday, early Wednesday morning, we see the system lift to the north, but right on its heels, another storm. That, though, looks to be mainly rain, especially from Kent County on northward. We could start as a brief period of mix, but this looks like to be primarily a rain event, and we could even see some heavier rain as we go Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, and then a few lingering showers into Thursday, much milder as temperatures push into the upper 40s to lower 50s, and then we see colder conditions but drier as we push into Valentine's Day. So here's what we're thinking right now, Tuesday into Wednesday morning, mainly snow from most of the Delaware coast through Salisbury, and then south of Ocean City down through Snow Hill and Chicotee. We could see a period of snow changing to rain. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, looking primarily below average, and we are looking at slightly above normal chances for precipitation over the 8 to 14-day. We're looking at that red alert there for Tuesday. Wednesday, we have a yellow alert for that mix going over to rain. And we are looking at drier but colder conditions for Valentine's Day.
President Trump tonight saying more tariffs are on the way as soon as tomorrow. And sitting down for the traditional Super Bowl pregame interview with headlines on everything from Elon Musk to making Canada the next state. NBC's Yamachi Alessandor reports.
President, thanks for having us.
Tonight, in a high-stakes interview during the Super Bowl pre-show, President Trump defending Elon Musk as he tries to slash federal agencies.
Bottom line, you say you trust him.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing.
The president pushing back on judges who have temporarily blocked efforts by Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE.
I think it's crazy, and we have to solve the efficiency problem. We have to solve the fraud, waste, abuse, all the things that have gone into the government.
His administration back in court tomorrow, trying to push through their widespread buyouts for federal workers. While on Saturday, a federal judge temporarily blocked Musk and DOGE staffers from accessing sensitive payment systems at the Treasury Department. A new poll by CBS News and YouGov showing Trump with an overall approval rating of 53%. Meanwhile, on his way to the Super Bowl, the president saying on Air Force One that he's serious about his proposal to take over Gaza.
Think of it as a big real estate site, and the United States is going to own it and will slowly, very slowly, we're in a rush, develop it.
Trump also saying he will announce a plan for new tariffs tomorrow.
What countries will those go on?
Everybody. Steel.
Including Canada and Mexico?
Yeah. Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum?
Aluminum, too.
And in the Super Bowl interview, when asked if he is serious when he says he wants Canada to be the 51st state.
Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is.
The Trump administration is now suspending the Biden administration's electrical vehicle charging program. The Transportation Department says the $5 billion bipartisan grant program is effectively frozen. That means no federal grant money will go to states that were approved to build EV charging stations. The new administration plans to issue its own guidance sometime this spring. And President Donald Trump said he is moving to immediately cut off former President Joe Biden's access to intelligence information. Trump wrote in a Truth Social post on Friday that there was no need for the former president to continue receiving access to classified information and that his security clearances would be revoked and his daily intelligence briefings stopped. The intelligence community operates to provide the president with the material of all levels of classification. And a federal judge has restricted the Elon Musk-led government efficiency team from accessing a critical Treasury Department payment system. The order was issued early yesterday morning, and it stops the access temporarily and demands the destruction of any downloaded information. The suit alleges that the team led by Musk and staffed by young associates categorized as special government employees have been unlawfully granted access to the system that previously was restricted to government employees. And this is a statement from Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings about the ruling against Musk, saying in part, quote, "This was a flagrant violation of Delawareans' privacy, and I'm grateful to the court for taking quick and decisive action to protect our state," unquote. And a plant explosion in western Pennsylvania has sent at least 12 people to the hospital, including 5 firefighters, according to local officials. NBC's Priscilla Thompson reports.
Heart-stopping moments in Pennsylvania. An explosion at an industrial plant creating a massive inferno.
That is freaking huge.
In Sagertown, about a half hour from Erie, flames burst through the roof of Parker Lord Corporation.
Oh.
With a loud boom.
Shook the whole back wall of the building. I thought it was ice falling off the roof.
Bright orange flames seen here raging at the adhesives and coatings manufacturing facility.
Major explosion.
A massive plume of black smoke filling the sky. Emergency crews rushed to the scene.
I have several injured firefighters out here. We need multiple EMS.
7 workers and 5 firefighters were injured, officials say, all non-life-threatening.
I had been there for a few minutes fighting fire when there was an explosion.
NBC News reached out to the facility's parent company, Parker, for comment, but did not hear back. Tonight, officials say a shelter-in-place order has lifted as they continue to monitor air quality. Priscilla Thompson, NBC News.
The Trump administration withdrawing from a transgender rights case in Tennessee. That's up next on Coast TV News at 11.
all the natural light of the great outdoors, right in your dining room. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors. All the solitude of the outdoors, without the bad Wi-Fi connection. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors.
Your child deserves the best. When your child is sick, every moment counts. And the team at Tidal Health Pediatrics understands the urgency of such situations. Whether it's a sudden fever, a troubling cough, or another pediatric ailment, your child will be seen when they need it most. Schedule your child's appointment now at tidalhealth.org/findapediatrician or call 410-912-5785 because your child's health is our top priority. Tidal Health Pediatrics, compassionate care when you need it most.
Dandelions, a bright yellow warning that now is the time for prevention because crabgrass and clover aren't far behind. Hillside Lawn Service has been making lawns around the Chesapeake healthier and weed-free for nearly 30 years. From soil to trees, grass and weeds, Hillside's certified agronomists test your soil, apply exactly what it needs and nothing it doesn't. Their high-efficiency formulas help protect our waterways. Switch to Hillside now and get $25 off their annual maintenance program. Call Hillside Lawn Service for your free assessment.
I've been thinking about renovating my garage floor, and suddenly I'm seeing signs everywhere. The universe keeps hinting, even at my local gas company. Pinnacle Concrete is everywhere. And again, multiple signs at the print store. The signs are too strong to ignore. It's time to call. With so many options, my dream is taking shape. And now, I'm not just seeing signs, I'm living proof. Pinnacle Concrete Coatings, because quality matters.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
The Trump administration has withdrawn from a major court case on transgender rights in Tennessee. The announcement comes after the Biden administration sued Tennessee over its ban of gender-affirming care for minors. However, a federal appeals court allowed the ban to take effect in 2023. And Friday, the Trump administration told the Supreme Court that they believe the lawsuit was a mistake and they support the state's position on the ban. The current Tennessee law bans hormone therapy and puberty blocks for minors. In the meantime, the Justice Department said the court should still make a ruling in the case, and a decision is expected by late June. Millions of baked goods are being pulled off the shelves over listeria concerns. The Food and Drug Administration is stepping up its recall of 60 baked products. That includes a variety of donuts, cinnamon sticks, crullers, and fritters, manufactured by the pastry wholesaler FGF Brands. And while the recall was initially issued on January 7th, it was upgraded to a Class 2 on Wednesday. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention published its weekly research report Thursday for the first time since President Trump took office. However, 3 studies about the H5N1 bird flu were missing from the Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report. That's according to a person familiar with the situation who told sources the condition of the anonymity. Those missing studies comes as bird flu continues to spread in dairy, cattle, poultry, and other animals across the U.S. And Lloyd's Market in Lewis says their shelves are deceiving because they're full. But they say having to order eggs from places they've never ordered from them before. And they've had to raise their prices for at least 40%. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken shows us the latest.
In his 4 years working at Lloyd's Market in Lewis, Steve Hollahan says he's never seen egg prices this high.
Eggs are a staple, so you got to have eggs in your house.
Because of the bird flu outbreak, more than 13 million hens across the country have been lost or slaughtered since December. That's according to the Agriculture Department. Hollahan says several of their manufacturers are completely out of eggs. He's had to turn to local options.
We've had to raise our prices almost 40%. We've tried to make it as affordable as we can, but you also can't give them away. And the pricing and getting them is hard.
And bigger grocery stores are feeling the fallout of the flu, too.
We went inside the Acme and the supply of these was very low. The egg shelves were almost completely bare, and there was even a notice to customers explaining the recent disruptions in supply due to the flu outbreak across the country.
Nectar owner Lisa McDonald says as a breakfast and lunch place, this is hard.
I can bear it right now because right now it's the off season.
She says the egg prices from her suppliers just keep increasing and she eventually may have to raise prices.
Once we start really gearing up for the season, I can't afford to not be having the profit margin that I need.
For now, customers may have to shell out more, but many hope prices will crack before breakfast becomes a luxury.
Holohan says he had customers tell him before that they had to hold off on buying eggs due to those price increase. And this just into Coast TV News. Dewey Beach Police has confirmed to Coast TV that one of their officers were involved in an accident this evening. Clifford Dempsey telling us, quote, "Yes, there was an accident tonight and the investigation agency is the Delaware State Police. I can confirm that our officer is okay and only received minor injuries," unquote. Be sure to join us tomorrow on Coast TV News as more details get released. After the break on Coast TV News at 11, as we take a look into Salisbury, we have a final check on your forecast.
The world's #1 selling farm tractor. Easy to operate and more powerful than your average tractor. Mahindra tractors. Push more, pull more, lift more. With more torque and lower engine maintenance, Mahindra tractors are rugged and tough. We know how much you love your land, so we want you to love your tractor. Get your next Mahindra tractor today. Southern States of Milford, improving farming and improving life. Rooted since 1948.
Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. It's time to huddle up and talk football.
We're talking touchdowns, tackles, and everything in between. From game-changing plays to the latest news around the league.
We'll take a deep dive into all of the plays that made a difference.
We'll see you in the end zone.
Catch the End Zone, Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. Sponsored by Tyndall's Casual Furniture and North Star Heating and Air Conditioning.
No other artist has been able to have this kind of effect.
Her impact is so much more than just being an artist who puts out music.
It's welcoming, unifying community.
The Swift Effect, Episode 4, Saturday, February 15th at noon on Coast TV. Sponsored locally on Coast TV by Pohanka Kia, delivering dreams to driveways.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
At Coast Country, we're more than just music. We're a part of Delmarva's heart. Every month, Coast Country Cares, together with Spicer Brothers, steps up to serve our community. We're here helping local organizations and supporting our neighbors all year round. Join us in making a difference. Stay tuned to learn where we'll be next or visit coastcountry.com to see how you can be a part of our mission. Coast Country Cares, sponsored by Spicer Brothers, because we're Delmarva proud.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan lights with deep socket extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with Socket Fan.
The National Football League has announced the Pittsburgh Steelers will be a home team at a game in Ireland. It's not the first time the NFL has played a game in Ireland, nor is it for the Steelers. But that was a preseason game, so this does mark a first for a regular season matchup.
Well, temperatures are going to be falling into the mid to upper 20s tonight, so it's going to be a cold start at the bus stop tomorrow morning with a mix of sun and clouds. We're at 29. By the afternoon, we're looking at highs topping out upper 30s to lower 40s across much of the Delmarva Peninsula with a mix of sun and clouds. You can get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Brock's, Mondalis, and Federico. We will see that red alert there in play for Tuesday for accumulating snow Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That snow will transition to rain. Could see some heavy rain Wednesday into Thursday, so an active stretch, but we are much drier but colder into Valentine's Day, and then we see a chance of rain by the weekend.
Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. And we'll see you in just a few hours for Coast TV News Today, starting at 5 a.m. Have a great night.